Hello everyone, and welcome to the 10th installment of the Turf Battles New Client Development Diaries. To those of you who aren't aware, we haven't released a development diary in a while. I think our last one came out sometime in late November. The reason for that was discussed in that development diary, but essentially the players wanted us to apply or at least sort through and apply some of the suggestions that they had been asking for onto the live server, which we did. And of course, not every suggestion makes it into the game, but the ones that we saw that were a good idea or that players voiced that they did want to see. So in that situation, the majority of players wanted it. We made those changes. We did what we could while not making it too different or not touching code that's too different from the current new client code. Um, but anyways, it's been added to the live server. It's been up for a while. We're still going to be releasing a couple new updates. Probably sometime soon. I think at the start of February, we're scheduled to launch our Lunar Festival event, so that should be interesting. While I'm talking about that, everything that was added to the live server has already been ported over onto this new client version. So everything that was changed there is now here as well. Okay, so in the last video update, we kind of went through everything that was updated, and we noticed a couple issues that we documented on the video itself, starting with the tax system in the Civil War altar or the Civil War Lord Room. Basically, before, the amount of money that was being added when you purchased an item was not being incremented properly, so we fixed that. And just to show you, if you remember from that video, the total cost of soft potions is 5 Lenny when there is a 0 tax rate. Right now we have a 4% tax rate, so it's 6 Lenny. And if we buy 1, we should have 1 additional Lenny in our balance, which is 13. Good. Now if we buy 10, we should have 10 additional Lenny. There you go. Good. We were at 13 before, now we're at 23. Okay. Another thing that we talked about in the previous development diary was sorry, I'm just going to unlock my account. I'm going to pause this video really quick. Sorry. So yeah, another part of the update from the last video diary was the buddy system rework. And there we discussed that there were still some things that we wanted to change, specifically when it had to relate to actually adding friends and seeing who's trying to add you or who you have added. And basically what we came up with is now we have 3 lists. We have the friend list and the block list, which we were showing before, but then we also have this pending friend list. And basically any friend that you add is going to appear here, as well any player that adds you will appear here. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that friend, but I'll go ahead and try and add Scotty. So he appeared, and I'll go ahead and try and add the Buff King, which was the character we just deleted. So no character with that name exists apparently. Okay, we'll have to use a different name. I can't remember what it was. I'll just pause the video while I pull up a name. Okay, so I found a name, Zorba. So I've added both, but they haven't accepted my friend request. I'm actually online with another client on Scotty, and I'll go ahead and accept that friend request. And as soon as I accepted, I got this notification saying the request has been accepted. They're no longer on my pending friends list, and they're on my friends list. Now I'll show the process on our end if they add us. So I'm just on the additional client, and I'm adding myself. I got a message saying Scotty has requested to be your friend. Now I see Scotty right up here. Now you'll notice Scotty didn't appear underneath Zorba. The reason for that is because he is a incoming friend request. So that means that he asked to be my friend, not I asked to be his friend. So basically, anybody that asks you to be friends will appear at the top. Anybody that you ask to be friends will appear at the bottom. But we can go ahead and either accept or decline. We've already accepted once, so I'll go ahead and decline just so you guys can see that does work. Cool. Yeah, so that change was pretty much the last change or new feature for the social interface, at least for now. One other thing that we did fix was a bug with the message system. So if you watch the previous video, what happened was it opened the alert box when you messaged someone, or sorry, messaged a friend, and it wasn't supposed to. So I'll go ahead and just demonstrate that really quick. Just send myself a note. Oops, message didn't send. There we go. Okay, so I received a message. There it is. Hey, how's it going? I can read it, of course. I can close it. And then the problem was when I click delete, it would delete it, but it would open up the alert inbox, which now it doesn't. Cool, pretty simple. Another thing that we fixed was, if you remember in the video, there was a soccer event and the crystal kept jumping up in the air. We resolved that. I'll just go there right now to show you. So as soon as you ran into the screen before, the crystal would jump way up in the air, and that's fixed. We did fix a couple other things that weren't mentioned in that video. I'll just briefly list them. The pet system, I don't know if anybody noticed in the previous videos, but once in a while it wouldn't actually purchase a pet. It would bug out. This wouldn't even pop up. We fixed that. Then with the running animation, I'm not sure if you guys can actually hear the sounds that are playing on my client or have ever been on these videos. But basically, up till now, the running animation sounds weren't working, and we resolved that issue. They do work now on all your characters. And another issue was that the red mage weapons, specifically on male red mages, weren't displaying properly while they were out. What was happening was this part was appearing way down here, so it wasn't actually touching the hand. We fixed that, obviously. It's now touching the hand. Cool. So that's pretty much everything we fixed, but now we're going to jump into what's been changed. So to start off with, I'm actually going to switch characters here. When we've already prepared a different character called Debuff King, or Debuff King. Okay. So we've been talking about reworking the monster system for a while, and we chose to kind of start that while we were working on the new updates because it is a long process to actually rework this system. One of the things that we wanted from this was to be able to apply buffs and debuffs to monsters, which we've done. And I'll just demonstrate that really quick. It might be better that I do this on the butterflies because I might want to hit these. Okay. So right there I hit 6.2. That was a maximum. I'll try to get a normal one. So around 6K. Okay. Now I'm going to apply black touch on the butterfly. And it's hard to see, but the effect is right there. Yeah, see, I already lost where it is. It's because the monster is so big, but it is applied, and we can actually tell by using the attack again. We're hitting higher. 7.4, 7, 7, 7.2. So that's the magic defense reduction debuff. If you didn't know, that was black touch. Um, all these debuffs should be working from weaken. There's the effect. For these ones, I'll jump over to the smaller monsters just because so you can see the effect. It's easier. There's the effect. Then we have paralyze, which makes them move slower. We have the attack debuff. We can apply black touch just so you can see that. So they are all working just like they would with players. It was pretty difficult to get this implemented. Right now it's using the exact same system as the player's buff system. So whenever we fix one issue, it should fix it for both if there is an issue. But we don't expect there to be. Something to note is that just like in old turf battles, there are some debuffs that don't work on monsters. Specifically, we're talking about debuffs that are for PvP only, such as Poison Arrow and Blind Maker. So of course we're not going to allow Poison Arrow on a monster because that reduces the monster's health by a percentage, and that would be very OP, especially against bosses. One other change is that we've been working on the kind of movement mechanics of these monsters and how often they can interact with you. And I don't know if people have noticed this on the live server, but oftentimes when a monster attacks, then it just sits there for a while, and then eventually it starts moving and chasing you. We've fixed this so that they just chase you directly. There's no kind of delay, and the update process is just a lot smoother than it was in the current live server version. So yeah, that's pretty much it right now on monsters. We do have a couple other things in the works for them. The monster rework system isn't complete, like I just said. There are some other things we want to try and tackle, such as being able to prevent monsters from walking or attacking through walls in dungeons, such as Delfroth. We do have a plan to attack that right now. It's a time-consuming process, but we'll have that for you as soon as we can. Another system that we do want to show off today is the cosmetic loadout system. So I think in previous videos we did show that it was working before, but it was just a pretty much copy and paste of the current live server version, and it did have some issues whether or not we showed it on the video or not. But essentially, we re-implemented the system and added a couple extra features, specifically a loadout preview. So basically, if you didn't know, you can open this menu by pressing Control C. But basically now, when you are purchasing a cosmetic loadout, you'll see a preview of what it looks like right here. And if you switch to another tab, you'll keep that selection here, so you can kind of mix and match what you want to look like by combining different loadouts. Just to demonstrate that they all show, I'll just cycle through them really quick. Then we have the weapons. Something to note that these sticks right here, they don't transfer to certain classes such as archers, blades, and fists, just because there is no equivalent to them for that class. We'll try and change that up so that there is an equivalent. There's no shields, of course, so that's what other hand would be. And then we have the full bodies, which right now we just have the beach outfit, unless you were able to unlock some kind of full body costume from the previous year's events, such as the Santa doll outfit. So if we go ahead and purchase that, we can activate it, and we did transform. Something you're probably noticing right now is that the weapon disappeared. That's not supposed to happen. That's something that we do have to still fix, and we'll have that ready for the next development diary. This preview is why we didn't release the development diary yesterday. it was a pretty time-consuming process to get this working properly, but it is working properly now. So I'll go ahead and purchase just a random assortment of loadouts, just so that we can see them being equipped. And I'll do a gold Leviathan stick. Okay, so I didn't actually activate any of them. I'm going to go ahead and disable the beach outfit just because you can't see anything while you have it activated. And then I'll start equipping them. You can already see through this see-through panel that it was equipped, or the cosmetic loadout was. And we'll just do them all. Cool. There you go. That's a full set of different cosmetic loadouts. Sorry, I'm just looking at the list. Some other things that we kind of added relating to this were these custom modifications to the client. We added all the models that were missing. We're still in the process of adding some missing full body outfits or costumes. We do plan to release more costumes once this new client is out. So maybe in the next video we'll kind of preview what costumes we'll have in the starting lineup. And that's it for today. I do want to kind of quickly talk about something that a lot of people have been commenting on, especially on support tickets and Discord, and that's the current state of mages. We are aware that there is sort of a balance issue when it comes to mages, even more so when it comes to white mages. Unfortunately, that's always a battle that we've had anytime we have changed a white mage. Anytime we add new content, that white mage all of a sudden becomes overpowered because they are able to equip themselves with the highest set items and still be able to buff themselves and the party pretty significantly. We've talked about this in the Discord, but we are going to be taking a look at the magic system in general. Unfortunately, we've been trying to stay true to the Hyper Engines version of Turf Battles, and it's unbalanceable when you try to do that because you have all these things that we remember, and we remember them fondly, but they were, quite frankly, overpowered. So we're going to have to do a complete system overhaul of mages and how they work. Basically, we're going to write up a kind of a proposal for you guys to read, and you guys can provide feedback on that proposal. The change wouldn't actually happen though until the new client is released. So we'll have that proposal out for you guys probably within the next few days. So look for it on the Onyx Games forums. As well, we'll link it on the Discord. You can provide feedback however you'd like, whether that's through support tickets, Discord, or the forums, or even the YouTube comments. That's fine too. But yeah, that's going to have a change. And just to give you guys a preview of what's going to be in that proposal, some things that we are considering doing is removing not removing black touch, but removing the ability for black touch to affect red mages. Because while it does affect red mages, that completely restricts us from being able to adjust red mages so that they aren't underpowered without black touch, which is currently the case. So if we remove black touch, that allows us to increase their AP and provide them with other benefits that blue mages might not have. And then in that sense, blue mages wouldn't really change in AP wise because they would still be able to benefit from black touch. The only difference is that it would be lowering blue magic defense, not blue and red magic defense. As well, like I just said, we do want to take a look at white mages, whether that does mean that we change them up or consider removing them. That's still up in the air. We have heard a lot of feedback saying that players would rather them just be removed. We don't exactly want to do that. Um, they might be changed drastically, but we'll see. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We will have another video released in 2 weeks for sure. We're going to try and keep true to that schedule again. Um, yeah, so hope you enjoy, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.